So every time I upload my YouTube, okay? So if you miss anything in the class, or if you miss any class, okay? You can find my YouTube channel and you can watch it, okay? All right. Okay. All right. So it seems that everyone is here, okay? So I guess we are ready to start. Okay. So everyone's ready? So if you're ready, please type yes. All right, great to see. All right, thank you so much. Okay, this time, okay, I just want to remind you that the last time we talked about the last one, okay, chapter 1, all right, okay, strategy management and competitive advantage. Okay, so strategy management is a long-term plan, and competitive advantage is a doing better than others. Okay, so we talked about some fundamental concepts of strategy management in the chapter 1 in the last meeting. Okay, all right. So it's time to move. So this time we're gonna talk about environments of the firm, right? Of the organization. Okay. So chapter 2 is about external environment. Chapter 3 is about internal environment. Okay, so internal environments in this stuff. Okay. This time we're going to talk about chapter 2. The next time we're going to talk about chapter 3, internal environments. Okay, so based on this typology in the textbook, okay, we say external and internal environments, right? External and internal environments. Okay. But conceptually, you can understand, okay, external, internal. Okay. Then, but it's not clear. What is external? Okay. What is internal? Okay. What is external? What is internal? Okay. How do you distinguish this? External and internal environments. How do you distinguish this?
Like within or within the company or outside of the company?
All right, outside the company, inside the company. So how do you distinguish outside company, inside the company? Yeah, it's true. External, internal means outside and inside. So physically, what? Something like the geographical territory or what?
The external environment is something that you can't control, and the internal environment is something that you can have control over.
All right, thank you, Tritney and Cole. Okay, all right. Actually, Cole made a point. So external means outside the company. Okay, internal means inside. Okay, but external, internal. Okay, outside, inside. Okay, it's not easily distinguished between these. If it says, Cole just says physical territory. Okay, probably it is not. It's not. Okay? Is not clearly distinguished. Okay? All right. Then Tritton says, external means we cannot control. Okay, and internal means we can control. Okay, so actually Tritton's point is exactly the same as the point raised up in the textbook. Okay, so textbook answer great. Okay, so external means we cannot control. We should accept it. Okay? It's given. All right. So this is external. Internal means we can control. Okay. So conceptually, many people are using these concepts. Okay. External, internal. External means we cannot control. Internal means we can control. So conceptually, it is easy to understand, okay? But in practice, we actually, there are many cases we cannot clearly distinguish this is external, this is internal. Okay, there are many cases. Okay? All right, but still, we conceptually understand that external means we cannot control. Okay? Internal means we can control. Okay, so internal means about our resource. External means the cohesive factors we cannot control. All right. So I wanna you have these concepts at this point. Then we can move on. Okay. All right. Thank you, Cole and Tritney, for your discussions. All right. Let's move. All right. So I want to clarify some schedule and the. I just want to emphasize caption simulations. Okay. I'm not sure how many of you already studied this, simulations, but I strongly recommend you start the caption simulation as soon as possible. Okay, this is not an easy game. It takes time to be familiar with the game. Okay, so please start it as soon as possible. Okay, with your team. All right, with your team. Okay. All right, schedule. So these schedules is exactly same as the schedule on the syllabus. Okay, so we are exactly following the schedule in the syllabus. Okay, so exam 1, the first exam is next Wednesday. Okay, and presentation is 15. This is not Wednesday, guys. Yeah, this is Monday actually. Okay. So presentation is February 15, but Monday, not Wednesday. I'm sorry about the confusion. Okay. So please keep in mind this schedule. Okay. Exam 1 and presentation 1. Okay. So after we do the chapter 3, then we will do this. Okay. And presentation 1. Okay. It's about the real case. Okay. It's a team-based work. All right. So it's done by team, your team, okay, not individuals. Okay. So your team is supposed to find a real case, real organizations. It can be like a college, it can be school, it can be government, it can be a corporation, whatever. Okay, whatever organizations. So you find the real case. And you research what a strategy that organization used and how the performance was. Okay. All right. So basically, you find a real case, then present it. Okay. Yes, strategy and performance. Okay. For performance, they can be successful, they can be not successful. It doesn't matter. All right. So why they are successful, why they are not successful. We'll talk about something like that. Okay. So your presentation will be evaluated by your classmates, your audience, not just me. Okay, I'm just one of your audience. Okay, so your classmates, your audience will evaluate your presentations. Okay, so the best tip for the presentation is very simple. You need to think about your audience. Okay, every business presentation is the same. All right. Your presentation for whom? Your audience. So you need to think about your audience. Then what they want to hear. All right. What they want to know. Okay. Then based on that fundamental, okay, then you do presentations. Okay. Because we have how many teams? 5 teams, and we have time limit. Probably 5 minutes each team. Okay. 5 to at most, 10 minutes. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So it should be very concise. Okay, and informative. Okay. All right. So, any question? Any question? Okay. So no question? All right. Then can I move? Okay. All right. All right. This is the distribution unit worm keys. Okay. The chapter 1 worm keys. Average is a 7. Okay. Just a 7, almost 7 out of 8. Okay, it's great. Standard deviation is 1. All right. So narrowly distributed. Okay. I love this pattern. Okay. I love this pattern. Okay. This pattern. So just keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Okay, you have a good start. Okay, I believe you are doing good. Okay, so chapter 2, we can start chapter 2 with one keys. Okay, then I'm gonna do your quiz. Chapter 2 one keys is a publishing, and I'm gonna give you 10 minutes as we did before. Okay, so as right now it's a 212. Yeah, 212. So due will be 222. All right, now you can find my one keys. Okay, then you start. You have 10 minutes. Okay, when you're done, you just type done to let me know. Lacey, did you find it? The quiz?
Yes, I'm on it.
Okay, great. I just want to make sure. Okay. I'm gonna mute my microphone. When you're done, please type done. Let me know. Okay. All right, the Megan is done. So we have many people already done. So we want to wait a little bit more. Okay, all right. As least I'm already Megan. Okay, James. Emily. Okay, anybody needs more time? So we have many students, we have many people already done. So I just want to make sure anybody needs more time. Just let me know. Anybody? Okay, I assume that everyone is done. So, all right, let's talk about that. More keys, all right? So number one, all right, this is about external environment, all right? External environments, okay? There are very simple topics, a couple of topics, okay? So the how to distinguish external environments and some 5 forces model, a model that, anticipate the industry's profit level, okay? And if you understand these two concepts, and then some other things are very straightforward, something like technology and globalizations, very basic concepts. Okay, so chapter 2 is about some models and some basic concepts. Then done. Okay, very simple topic. Okay, oh, conceptually simple, but it's not. It's not easy to actually do. Okay, in the practice this way. Okay. So number one, scenario planning is useful for anticipating major future changes in the external environment. True or false? You can say, you can type it, whatever you want. That's true. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So it's true. All right. So what is the scenario planning? What is the scenario planning? Anybody? Scenario planning. What is that?
Is it like planning future outcomes?
Yes. It's about future outcomes. Okay. Then outcomes can be multiple. All right. All right. Sometimes outcomes can be multiple. So A can happen, B can happen, C can happen, something like that. Then scenario planning is simply speaking, if A happens, we will do this. B happens, we will do this. C happens, we will do this. This is a scenario plan. All right. So if you think about the outcomes, some possible outcomes, okay, then probably it is very helpful to anticipate future changes, right? Okay, in the external environment. Okay. So we can say this is true, but there are some people, there is also some people that they say it's not true. Okay? It's not true. Scenario planning is about outcomes, not changes. Not changes. Okay? So scenario planning is used for anticipating some outcomes, but not major future changes. Okay? All right? In the external environment. So some people say it's true, some people say it's not true. But the textbook says probably textbook says it's not true. Okay. But this is just tricky, right? Actually, scenario planning is useful for anticipating major future changes too. So when you think about the future outcomes, possible outcomes, okay, there can be any changes. Okay? So in my perspective, it can be true too. All right. So true. All right. It's good. Good. You understand my point? Okay. All right. Number 2. All right. Jensen is typing, so let me make sure what What is it?
I'm just anticipating, waiting for you to ask if true or false. So I just was getting ready to type.
All right. Okay. All right. So this is true. All right. Number 2. If companies miscalculate the market, opportunities will be lost. True or false? Very true, right? Very true. All right. If you miscalculate the market, the market is gone. All right. You cannot correct the market. Okay. You will practice this. You will practice this with the simulations. Okay. So one of the important jobs in your simulation is calculate the market. All right. Calculate the market. Okay. So market can be identified by 2 aspects. Okay. 2 aspects like a product, quality, and price or something like that. Okay. And this space, you should calculate the market, the target market. All right. So let me ask this: when you calculate, when you anticipate, okay, a target market, okay, what is the guardians? What is the most important thing you should consider? When you think about your market, okay, what is the most important thing? Just one word.
Money.
Money? Money means who has the money?
Customers.
Yes, the customer, right? The customer. So when you think about the market, you need to think about the customer, all right? Your customer. So customer preference is very, very important to decide this. Yeah? To calculate the market, all right? So in your simulation too, okay? This is a big tip, actually, okay? So when I was doing my simulation, I did a great performance, okay? Top 1%, okay? Top 1%, so 99%, okay? Then I just follow the customer preference, always, customer, okay? Then in the simulation, there is some information about customer preference, so you need to find it, you should use it, okay? Then you don't have any problem with this calculation of the market, all right? So keep in mind, okay? Then when you are doing your simulations, there is a chance that you say, aha, that concept, this one, okay? All right, number three. So environmental scanning involves surveillance of the internal environment of a farm to predict environmental changes and detect changes already underway. True or false? Aha. This is false. Yes, this is external. It should be external. All right, external. So in the textbook, okay, there are 3 elements. Three elements. Okay? Environmental scanning, okay? And environmental monitoring, and competitive intelligence. Then this can be environmental forecasting. All right. So environmental scanning, monitoring, competitive intelligence. Okay, 3 elements for environmental forecasting. Okay. So we are talking about external environment. Environmental scanning is about external environment, not internal. All right, not internal. All right, this is false. Number 4. Okay, so we talked about some elements of forecasting already. External environments and forecasting. And number 4 is about SWOT. So everyone knows, I assume that everyone knows already the SWOT. Okay? Strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Okay? Internal, external. Okay? SWOT analysis is useful in part because it obliges the firm to act proactively by putting an emphasis on identifying opportunities and threats that constrain the action choices a firm might make as a result of its internal and external environmental scale. True or false? Yeah, this is the definition of SWOT. Okay, so I don't find any problem. Okay, so definition of SWOT. Okay, in the SWOT, okay, you should be very, very careful, SWOT is a very simple tool, but you should be very careful to use it because you should clearly distinguish internal and external things. Okay, strength, weakness, internal, opportunity, threats, external. Okay, you cannot confuse it. Okay, you cannot confuse it. Okay, when I was working for a venture capital company, all right, I reviewed almost. Morgan, you want to say something?
No, sir, I'm so sorry. I got confused when class started and I just realized it and my microphone was on. I apologize.
All right. Okay, no problem. Okay, when I was working for a venture capital, I was a venture capitalist too. So my job was review the 10 to 20 business plans almost every day. All right, working with this. It is not an easy job. Okay, so then I saw a lot, many beautiful business plans. Okay, beautiful business plans, and then I make appointment to meet, physically with the founding team, CEOs or whatever. Okay, but over there, 1 out of 20 business plans. So it's a very small probability to continue actually the future meetings. Then I saw many beautiful business plans, but if I find these beautiful business plans, beautiful founding teams, just confuse internal, external in the business plan, so what happens? So my credibility is falling down. All right? So please don't confuse internal, external. All right? Internal means you can control. External means you cannot control. All right? Strength, weakness is internal. You can control. Okay? And opportunity and threats are external. You cannot control. All right? So SWOT analysis is an easy tool, but simple tool, but you should be very careful. Okay? Because it's a simple. Number 5. The strength and weakness of a SWOT analysis refer to the external conditions of the firm. We talked about that, right? Strength and weakness, this is internal, right? You can control. Okay? So it's false, right? Number 6, to understand the business environment of a particular firm, okay, you need to analyze both the general environment and firm industry and competitive environment. Yes, you should. Okay, you should. So it's true. It's true. All right, then number 7 and 8 about technology and globalization. 2 important trends in the external environments. All right, in the external environments, technology and globalization, international things. Okay. Very important trends. Technological innovations can create entirely new industries and alter the boundaries of industry. True or false? Yes, true. Okay, yes, true. We didn't have a chance to actually discuss my research paper about the scientific library. So that paper is about this. Okay? The technological innovations can create entirely new industry and alter the boundaries of industry. Okay? Number 8, and globalization provides opportunities to access larger potential markets. Yes, and a narrow base of production factors. Actually, this is a wider, okay, wide. A wider base of production factors. That's why globalization has the merit, advantage. Okay, so this is false. This is false statement. So technology and globalization. These are big trends in the external environments. You should consider technological factors and globalization factors, international business factors. Why? Why these two are very important? Why many people are crazy about this? Technology and globalization. Go ahead, James. Why many people are crazy about this technology and globalization? Don't worry, James. All right, we are going to talk about these things in the following chapters. Okay, but simple answer is technology and globalization can reduce cost and increase product differentiations. Okay, all right. There are some other many factors that impact cost and product differentiations, but most factors impact just either one of these. Okay? All right. So some factors just reduce cost. Some factors just increase product differentiations, better quality. All right. But actually, technology and globalizations, these two concepts can reduce cost and increase product differentiations simultaneously. Right? So they can reduce cost, increase product differentiations simultaneously. Right? Then this gap is increased and creating competitive advantage. Right? That's why many people are crazy about technology and globalization these days. All right. So our framework, we talk about that in the stretching manner. The fundamental framework is very simple. If you reduce cost, increase product differentiations, and your this gap is increasing, then creating competitive advantage. Right? Then technology and globalizations can reduce cost, increase product differentiations simultaneously. So that's why many people are crazy about these concepts. Okay, so we are going to talk about some details. Okay, some details of this topic. Okay. All right, so far so good. So warm keys is done. Any question about the warm keys? All right, then we can move. Okay, the next one. Okay, so we talked about some topics of chapter 2. Okay, we already done so. All right, so environment, scanning, monitoring, collecting competitive intelligence. We talked about that. Scenario planning. We talked about that. Forces. Okay, so we are going to talk about a Porter's model in this. Okay, we didn't talk about Porter's model yet. Okay, and strategic groups. Yeah, so these two concepts are very simple. So we're going to talk about that. Where we are stuck. That's external environment. Okay. All right, then. Okay. I have two presentations. Which one's better? I guess. All right, let's talk about this. Okay. Oh, I cannot. Let me pull up this. I am not sure this will work. Okay, so I guess this will work.
Iran is threatening to cut off the Strait of Hormuz to the U.S. over a congressman's call to action.
Let's try this.
Iran is threatening to cut off the Strait of Hormuz to the U.S. over a congressman's call to action over that country's treatment of U.S. sailors earlier this year. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin tonight on the impact closing the strait would have on the U.S.
A senior Revolutionary Guard commander has threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, where 1/3 of the world's oil exports pass each day. And Iran's supreme leader tweeted a cartoon showing his troops kicking the U.S. Navy out of the Gulf.
They come here from the other side of the globe and stage war games. What are you doing here? Go back to the Bay of Pigs. Go and hold exercises there. What are you doing in the Persian Gulf? The Persian Gulf is our home.
The threats followed the high seas capture of 10 U.S. Navy sailors in January. The Iranian captors released video of the U.S. sailors crying. Republican Congressman Randy Forbes of Virginia of the House Armed Services Committee has submitted legislation to punish Iran after learning classified details of the humiliation that U.S. sailors endured after being captured by the Iranian Navy. Secretary of State John Kerry thanked the Iranians upon the U.S. sailors' release.
I'm appreciative for the quick and appropriate response of the Iranian authorities.
Come on. Okay, done. What? All right. So, you understand what the situation is? This is a very familiar situation, right? They use this kind of news again and again and again. This news is about when? About 2016, about 4 to 5 years ago. It can be happen anytime, all right? So you understand this situation? Hormuz, Strait of Hormuz. Okay, look at this map. Look at this map. All right. So Iran is not so great relationship with the USA. All right. So Iran, whenever we have any problem with them, okay, Iran threat to close the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, this is the Strait of Hormuz. Okay. All right, see, this is Iran, this is Iraq, and Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Arab Emirates. Okay, and there are some other countries. Okay. So look at this map. These countries, okay, they produce a lot of crude oils, okay, oils, and they have to ship, okay, they have to ship by the sea, so it should go this way and all over the world, okay. So this is a strait, okay? So if Iran close this, all of these oils cannot go outside. All right. Then the price of oil goes up. All right. So that's why Iran always stay strict, okay, with this. Okay? So I want you, your team, all right, to think about this situation and then think about these questions. Okay, how will the shift in oil price be likely to impact new and used car dealers? And what would you do if you manage new and used car dealers? What are you gonna do? Okay, if these things happen. It happened 2016 but it can happen. It can happen anytime right now. Okay. So please meet your team members to talk about this. Okay. I'm gonna create. So clear? Everyone understand what the situation is? Please say yes. Okay. So you're ready to discuss. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you. And I'm gonna create breakout rooms. Okay. 5. And I'm gonna give you 10 minutes again, and to discuss this. Then we'll discuss as a whole group. All right. So please go ahead, meet with your teammates, and talk about this. Okay, welcome. Welcome back. All right, 10 minutes fine. 10 minutes okay. Okay, all right, great. All right, okay. So 10 minutes will fine. Okay. All right, so you are ready to talk about that? Okay. All right, let's talk about that. All right. So this will be the casual conversations. There's no answer actually. The first question. So how will the shift in oil price be likely to impact new and used car dealers? So anybody can start with that? So your discussions. Okay, please share your discussions and your perspective.
In our group, we talked about how like an increase in oil prices could cause like it could cause more activity with the car dealerships because people could be wanting to like switch their cars if they don't have a car that's fuel efficient, so they can save money on gas.
All right. So actually, Morgan, your team is discussing. So the oil price increases, then many people will save. Many people will save their money. So actually, they need to change the cars. So new and used car dealers will benefit from this. Okay. This is expectation of you, Morgan. Okay. All right, great, Morgan. Any other expectations or any other anticipation?
Our group said that the demand in electric cars would probably go up. So car dealerships would probably buy more of those.
All right. So Olivia's team, okay, and Olivia says the electric car will be better options for customers. So many customers will change it. All right. So any other point?
Like Olivia's team, we were saying that demand for non-oil cars would go up. So car dealerships would probably be buying like either hybrids or electric. Maybe more hybrids because they're usually a cheaper price point.
Okay, so it is a little bit more detailed. Okay, so existing cars, gas cars, actually, there's a less demand. So new and used car dealers, one benefit, okay, they will have disadvantages in this perspective, in this category of the product customer. Okay, but hybrid cars will be more popular because hybrid cars are cheaper than electric cars, okay? And hybrid cars are efficient, okay? More efficient than gas cars. Okay, it's a good expectations too. All right. Any other point?
I would just like to make a little point that maybe it might not affect it too much because in big cities like that, people can walk and give up their cars. But if like they live in a small rural town where they don't really have a choice, then it's necessary. They're not going to care how much it costs. They got to get to work somehow.
Okay. So Jensen's point is that, okay, we understand these situations, but like a little, like a not so significant increase of gas, okay, won't impact a lot in this market. All right. So it can be too. All right. It can be. All right. Good. Very nice. Any other points? Any other comments?
To go off what Jansen said, I think a lot of people thought when COVID started, the demand for cars would go down as well because people weren't leaving their houses. There was more an increase in like jobs working online, so they wouldn't really need cars. But I know someone that works at a car dealership, and like the demand never really changed.
Okay. All right. Okay. So see, okay, Olivia says, okay, Jensen, it's understandable. But I still, Olivia's perspective, based on her perspective, the demand will be changing. So actually, this market will be, experiencing some changes too. All right. Okay. So see, the point is that okay, everyone can have their own perspectives. Okay. Look at this. The other side of the globe, the other side of the world. Okay. Okay. I run this something. Okay. Then actually it impact our business. Okay. So this shows how actually external environment impact your business. Okay. Why we are talking about external environments? Because it is impacting your business. Okay. So your environment impact your business. Okay. So we don't know whose perspective will be realized actually. Okay. So there are many perspectives, many expectations. Okay. All right. So it's not important to discuss whose perspective is better. Okay. But the most important thing in this point is, okay, as a manager, you should know the external environment, because this external environment, even it happens the other side of the world, okay, it can happen, it can impact your business. Okay, that's why we are talking about external environment in this chat. Okay. All right. So what are you gonna do? All right, and this environmental change. Okay, anyone? So we talked about hybrid cars, electric cars, and some full efficient cars and existing BS cars. Okay, what are you gonna do?
Maybe alter your inventory to kind of cater to those types of cars.
All right, it's pretty obvious and straightforward. Basic, thank you. Okay, so car oil price increase, then probably you need to change your fleet of cars. Okay, to more full efficient, the payments. Okay. Anything else? Any other?
The budget or focus of spending would probably focus more on high demand cars or fuel efficient cars instead of those exotic cars or like old used Mustangs or something like that, like only get 10 miles a gallon. So they're not gonna buy those.
Oh yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Jensen. Okay. So probably as a manager, you need to change your inventory and your budget, right? Okay. To be consistent with this environmental change. Okay. So if you don't know the external environment, you cannot do anything. All right. Then your business is going down. Okay. So external environment is very, very important to know in order to proactively respond. Okay, Okay. All right, great. So very simple message. External environments are important. You should know it to respond proactively. Yeah, this is very simple message, but this is critical. Very critical in your business. Okay. All right. Any other points? Any other comments on this case? So we talked about very simple case. Okay. No more comments. So can I move on? All right. Please say yes. All right. Thank you so much. Good discussions. I love it. Okay. All right. Then let's move. Okay. So the importance of external environment, we need to know it. Okay. So to know it, we need to have environmental scanning, monitoring, and competitive intelligence. Then we can forecast the external environments. Okay. 3 elements: scanning, monitoring, and intelligence. Okay, scanning means you just search it, environmental change. Monitoring, keep watching, and competitive intelligence, collect more information. All right, then you can forecast the external environment. Okay, all right, then. Scanning, surveillance of a firm's external environment. Monitoring is evolution of environmental trends. And competitive intelligence is collect data on competitors, interpret intelligence data, something like that. Strengths and weakness. Okay. So what's good? Okay. And environmental forecasting. So based on these three elements, so you do environmental forecasting. Environmental forecasting predicts change, plausible projections. Okay, plausible projections. And scenario analysis, we talked about this. Okay, if A happens, we'll do this. If B happens, we'll do this, something like this. Okay, so alternative futures based on this assessment. Okay, so think about that. A happens, B happens, C happens. Outcomes. Okay, these outcomes. Each outcome has its own probability. All right, in a little bit more detail in scenario planning. Okay, so simply speaking, scenario planning is if A happens, we'll do this. If B happens, we'll do this. If C happens, we'll do this. Something like that. Three outcomes, possible outcomes. Okay? And some researchers and some professionals apply some probability statistics concept in this scenario analysis. So A, B, C, okay? Either one of these three outcomes can be happen, but we assume that each outcome, A, B, C, it has its own probability that happens actually. Okay? So if you combine this probability, all right, then probably this probability can impact our following behaviors, activities too. Okay, so scenario analysis is composed of that one. Okay, something like that. Okay, all right. SWOT. I'm not gonna replicate this strength, weakness, opportunity, threats. Okay, and general environments. General environments. Okay, in the textbook, okay, there are 6 categories of general environments: demographic, social, cultural, political, technological, economic, global. Okay, I don't know how to deal with this. Okay, very easily. So actually, I use this one. Okay, so it's very similar with this. Okay, so six types of general environments. You can categorize their general environments: pastel, political, economics, socio-cultural, technology, environmental, legal. Okay, so pastel. I just remember this pastel. 6 categories of general environments. Why I introduced this? Because I use this. Okay. If in your future job, think about that. In your future job, your boss is talking about business environment. Then she wants to have some report about the general environments, where we are, where our organization is. Then you need to make a report on it. Then general environments, you can use this 6 categories. If you don't have these simple categories, okay, probably your report will be very, goes to in many directions. It's not concise. Okay, that's why we use this. Okay, this is the way used in the consulting too. All right. So when we identify external environments, we need some guardians, okay, to communicate, to collect data, all right, to make a report, whatever. Okay. So these 6 categories of general environment. Then you can talk about this: political, economics, social, cultural, technological, environmental, legal. So pastel, all right? So you can remember this. Demographics, like people, and social, cultural, women. I'm not going to replicate this, okay? Each of this. If you read the textbook, okay, you can understand easily. Straightforward, political and technological and economic and global. All right, competitive environment. Competitive environment consists of factors in the test of industrial environment. Okay. All right, competitors, customers, suppliers. Okay. And so when you look at your competitive environment in your industry, okay, you can use this Porter's 5-4-6 model. Porter's 5-4-6 model. All right. So Porter's 5-4-6 model is very simple and straightforward, but many people actually miss the important point. Okay? Porter's 5-4-6 model means, okay, there are 5 forces, potential entrants, suppliers, buyers, and substitutes, and rivalry. Okay, rivalry. Okay, these are 5 forces. Okay? These are 5 forces. The beauty of this model is simplest. Okay? It's a very simple. The message is simple too. If each of this 5 forces are high, your profit is low. All right? Many people miss this message. Very simple message. But this is actually the beauty of this model. If each one of these fours high, then your profit is low. Huh? So think about that. Potential entrance. Potential entrance. Many corporations came into your market. Then what happens? Your profit level should be low. All right? Okay. And suppliers. Bargaining power of suppliers high, then your profit level low. Bargaining power of customers high, your profit level low. Substitutes high, and your profit low. Rivalry high, your profit low. Okay, this is the beauty of this Porter's 5-4-6 model. Right? But many people actually miss it. Okay? So again, like a rivalry, just a rivalry, for example. Think about your simulations. Okay? In the market, in your target market, you focus on this market. But there is a high rivalry, intensive competition. There, then your profit will be low. All right. Then what will be your strategy? It's very simple. You can find a new market. Okay. So in your simulations, you can find a new market. Okay. No rivalry, less rivalry. Then you will have a better profit. Okay. Got it? Clear? All right. So you just read the textbook, so you understand the basic concepts of Porter's 5-4-6 model. But my emphasis is not many people actually miss this point. Each one of these forces high, then your profit low. So you should consider. Okay. All right. This is, and I'm not gonna replicate this each force. That is very straightforward. So you can just read it and you can understand it. Okay. All right. And complements and substitutes. Complements are typically product service that have a potential positive impact on the value of a firm's own products or service. Complements are something like the iPhone and apps. Okay, iPhone apps. So they create a new value, okay, by combining. Okay? This is complements and strategic groups. Strategic groups. Okay? Strategic groups. Groups that share similar strategy. These are strategic groups. This is an example of strategic groups. Okay. So this is the breadth of product line. This is the price. So probably Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Porsche, they have a high price, but very less breadth, short breadth of product line. All right. So they share very similar strategies. Okay? Okay? They are actually competitors, direct competitors. Okay. Or this Toyota, Ford, General Motors, Chrysler, Honda, Nissan, and so these companies have huge product lines, okay? Wide product lines, and price are just just moderate level. So they compete against each other directly, and they share the similar strategies because their markets are actually they share the same market. So these are strategic groups. Okay? All right, this is the definition of strategic groups. Then that's it. That's it. So this is pretty much about topic chapter 2. Okay? So we talked about external environments. The first thing, okay, environmental forecasting with the 3 elements. We talked about that. And the second thing, we talked about PASTA, general environments. And third, we talked about Porter's 5 forces model. Okay? And we talked about some strategic groups. All right? All right, great. Great. So, we're done, chapter 2. Okay, any questions or comments on chapter 2? Okay, so if you don't have any question comment on chapter 2, we are going to talk about chapter 3 on Monday, right? So we're going to meet on Monday, right? So, great. You had a great discussions, okay? So, I'm very happy to see you are familiar with this, class, okay? More and more. So, have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday. You're free to go. Thank you, guys.